Hello, Dream Team. I hope you guys are all doing really, really well. I can see there's a few of you on, so would you mind just raising your hands if you can see my screen and if you can hear me? Oh, perfect, Michelle. Perfect, Emma. Thank you. Perfect. All right. So I am Kim Tankuden, and I'm coming to you from Winnipeg, Manitoba. It is gorgeous and sunny today, so I'm going to rub that in your faces, especially for you South Africans that are going into winter. um, but no, jokes aside, I hope you all had an amazing weekend, and congratulations to everybody on the amazing response to the skincare event. Well done. I hope you all got a really great turnout with your customers, and even if you just learned some more personally on how to do an online event, that's just fantastic. So tonight you have me. I'm going to start out with the training, and then Nikki will be joining us a little bit later. But I'm just going to jump in and we're going to get going. I will apologize. I've had a cough for about 6 weeks that I cannot get rid of. And the fundraiser that I went to over the weekend just made my throat all hoarse again. So I hope you can hear me and understand me through my gargle. All right, so as we always start, a business without a plan is like a road trip without a map. These rolling trainings, which we have 6 of them, we are now halfway through, are our map. So if you can plug in and connect to all of these rolling trainings, they are always available to you on the pinned post. Go back and rewatch them. Every time we do them, somebody new will hopefully be on there talking to you. And it just sometimes takes a different way for somebody to say something for it all of a sudden to click for you. So even if you've been in the business almost 3 years like myself, always just keep going back in, plug in, and just learn from everybody else. Our Dream Team motto is I will help you build your business. And as always, we break that down into 2 parts. I will help you, being either your upline or the managers within Dream Team. Basically, anybody who's where you want to be is somebody that you can look up to and seek that help from. We've got such a great group for that. We're all so willing to help and step out to help people even in our sidelines. But the important part is you need to build your business. You are the only one that can be responsible for the success or the failure of your business. So you need to be the one who puts that work in. We are here to guide you, but we cannot physically do it for you. Okay, a quick review of week 2. We went through our building a strong retail business. We also went into understanding the case credit. Now, the case credit can sometimes be confusing, and knowing when you need to be at what level can be overwhelming. So if that's something that you're still struggling with, please reach out to your upline or one of the managers, and we'll be happy to explain that to you again. We also discussed what creating a 4cc habit would create for yourself. It's kind of the business building foundation that you know that if you can produce a 4cc business on a monthly basis, if you've got that strong, stable business to build on so that you can get up and up. Sorry, with take you where your goals are wanting to go. We looked at our retail activity as well, our keeping it simple activity sheet. We looked at product launches, our PUPs, which we also call experience baskets, customer care, and also looking at building relationships. So this week, we're going to finish up on our retail side. So we'll be looking at C9, the KISS 7 approach, tabletops. And then I'm going to start us off on the business building side, but then Nikki will finish us off. So she'll be doing handling objections, the 5 stages to manager, the new kind of format that's available to us, and then also working on expanding our who do you know list. So with the C9, why do we focus on the C9? First of all, it's a great way to get customers to see the benefits really, really quickly. It's a 9-day program that they will start seeing the benefits right away. Because we're providing that amazing customer service that we like to focus on, we highly recommend that you touch base with your C9 customers continuously throughout the 9 days. So what I've done for myself is I've actually created a sheet to help track who I need to contact, why I'm contacting them. So the day before the cleanse, I would send them a motivational tip saying, hey, you've got this, good luck, any questions, give me a shout. And then every single day I would contact them with either a tip or a suggestion, or just checking in to see how they're feeling and how they're doing. Not everybody is as open as we'd like, and some people tend to clam up and they won't tell you what's going on. I've had the opposite, where people are so open that they're telling me the color of their bowel movements and things. So, but if somebody is not opening up, try and engage them in a conversation just to kind of understand how they're feeling and what's going on, because it might just be a simple fix that you could fix for them right in the beginning, rather than waiting all the way to the end to find out when you contact them after the 9 days to say, hey, how did it go? And they go, oh, it was terrible. I didn't get past day 3, where you could have then helped them fix whatever was going on and just build that relationship just through helping them. Most times once somebody has gone through the cleanse and they've seen the benefits, they want to continue feeling the way that they're feeling right now. So you could look at introducing them to do more of the range. So you could either switch them over onto an F15, or just to continue with the drinking gel, or maybe the shake. There's lots of, now that you've got your foot in the door with the C9, there's so many other avenues that you could take your customer to allow them to sample more of our aloe products. Obviously, that will give you your repeat customers. And then also, once they've done a cleanse, their friends and family and co-workers are going to be noticing a difference in them too. I've asked my customers who really had a good experience with the cleanse to post on Facebook about it on their page, and then just to tag me. I had that happen with one lady last year, and I think I had 20 people contact me just for more information, and I think I ended up selling 11 C9s off of that one customer. And then, of course, those new customers became repeat customers with me as well. So since then, I've taken them into the skincare or the nutrition. So don't ever just stop at a C9 and think, okay, well, they're done. They don't want anything else. So many people have also become team members after having done the Clean 9. I think it was Janet Forbes that did the Clean 9 first, right? And she fell in love with the products, and she was like, okay, that's it. How do I get involved? So don't ever just stop at just the Clean 9. It can take you so much further. So how do you retail the C9? The same way you retail any product is to actually use it yourself. Be the product of the product. If you are able to do the C9, obviously, if you're pregnant or breastfeeding or have some sort of medications that you're on that won't work well with the supplements of the C9, and you can't physically do it yourself, find somebody who can. Ask your hubby, ask your mom, ask your friend. Just ask somebody to do the Clean 9, to document it for you, and so that way you can live vicariously through them and share their experiences with your prospective customers, just to be able to give you that honest feedback, to be able to talk to the products. There's lots of information out there about the Clean 9. We obviously have there's the YouTube channels that you can just search cleanse or Clean 9 on and find information on that. We obviously have our Sunshine product library as well that you can go onto. That's on Facebook. Lots of information in there too. Speak to your upline if you need more info too, because we've all done the cleanse multiple times, so we can speak to it from honest feedback. We obviously, there's lots of support that you can tap into. We have our Change the Way You Look and Feel group within Facebook that we add all of our cleanse customers to, or our weight loss customers, and that's a great place for them to find support, tips and tricks, some great recipe ideas, even some workouts are on there. So it's just a great way to create that community of like-minded people who are wanting to look and feel better. You can also set up a group WhatsApp if you have a group of people doing it together, and then that obviously leads you to the team challenge. So it's always more fun to do the cleanse in a group, especially if it's a husband and wife duo, because you don't want to be the only one in the house not being able to eat. So if you can team up, I like to offer my customers a buddy discount. So if they find somebody else who wants to do the cleanse with them, I will give them both a little bit of a discount, just an incentive to give you another person to add to your who do you know list, but also just somebody else that now becomes a referral and a customer and possibly even a team member. So Lots and lots of options there with the C9. Moving on to our KISS 7. So basically, KISS is keep it super simple. So lately, we've been talking a lot about working out your retail strategy. So at the beginning of the month, you figure out exactly what activity you are going to be doing within that month to help you reach your retail goals. Now, this is a great way to take that one step further. So you actually break it down and you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to pick 7 products to focus on. So we recommend picking 2 high value, high CC products. So that would be a Clean 9 or an F15 or the RG is great as well. Just because that's you're getting more bang for your buck, if you know what I mean. Like yes, you have a lot of input that you have to work with the customers, but the CC value is a lot higher, so it's worth the extra time and effort. And then choose 5 of your favorites. So the 5 products that you use on a daily basis, or the ones that you have the most confidence in talking about. And then those are the 5 that you're going to choose for that. So there you've got 7 key products to focus on. In our Dropbox folders that you can find on the pinned post for weeks 1 to 3, you will find the KISS 7 template that you can download and print off for yourself. So once you've decided which 7 products you're going to be doing, you'll list them all there on the left-hand side. So you'll see the RG all the way down to the shakes. And then you're going to just go through and depending on where you are in the world, you'll obviously use your own currency. This is all in dirhams. You'll go through and you'll list the retail cost, the wholesale cost, and then obviously you'll get your calculator out and you'll figure out retail less wholesale will be your profit. And then you can go in and put in the case credits that each product would bring in when you sell it. So this is just a quick overview of what you're working on for the month. Then in our Dropbox, you also have this sheet that you can print off. And this is basically where you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to focus on selling, and just going by this example, 4 RG this month, 2 C9, 6 gels, so on, so on, so on. And then you just get your calculators out again and you figure it out and you go, okay, well, if I sell that amount of these products, it's going to bring in this many CCs, and this will be my total profit. And once you break it down like that, you can actually see why you need to be spending more time on the higher case credit products. It just makes more sense, right? Working smart rather than hard. And then you can have a look there at the bottom where you total it all up and you say, okay, is that in line with my goal for this month? Is that how much money I wanted to bring in? Is that how many CCs I wanted to add to my business this month? And then you can tweak it and you can say, okay, no, I wanted a little bit more because I want to take the kids to, I don't know, some movie next weekend and you want to pay for that completely or whatever, right? Whatever your goals and your dreams are, you just need to work that to fit into your life. But this is a great way to kind of keep that in front of you so that throughout the month you can keep back and check it off. And I love to tick things off. So as I sell one, I go in and I put a check mark, a check mark, a check mark. And it's exciting for me to see how close I am to getting my goals or how much I smashed them by. So give yourself a little bit of a challenge and push yourself to do that. Another option that you can do is, this one's actually come from Jane Leach, and this is your box of dreams. So basically what Jane Leach does is she packs up her little box of Forever. So you could use your Start Your Journey box or your Touch of Forever box, whichever one you got started on. If you didn't get started with the box, don't worry. Grab one of the boxes that your deliveries come in. Find a way that you have something Forever related that you can use to carry around with you. Pop in a few of your favorite products, catalog a little bit of information, and take it everywhere with you. So if you're meeting a friend for a coffee, all you need to do is you take this box and you walk in and you plunk it down on the table and then you sit down and you absolutely ignore the box. So you'll be sitting, you'll be chatting to your friend. You haven't said a word about this box that's made its way to this coffee date with you. But I bet you your friend is sitting there going, what on earth is in that box? And all she wants to do is ask you. And eventually it'll eat at her so badly that she will come out and be like, okay, tell me what's up with this box? Why do you have this box here? And then that is your opening to start talking about a little bit about the products in your business. So you can open the box and you can take things out and show them and explain a little bit, let them try them, let them smell them. It's just an easy way where you're not you're not the one kind of initiating it. It's them asking you, what's this all about? And you go, oh, yeah, sure. I should have told you. I'm so sorry. Yeah, have a look at these. This is what I've been working with over the last however many months. So I've just started this and I'm so excited. So it's just a conversation starter to help you broach the subject with some of your friends and family. Obviously, you can do it with strangers as well. I've done it where I go in if I'm meeting somebody for a one-to-one or a coffee date or something at one of the coffee shops. I'll go in early and I'll sit down and I'll put the box down, and then I'll look around and see at the tables that are around me, and I'll pick somebody who I think might be interested in what I'm doing or in the products or something just by looking at them. And I'll get up and I'll go to them and I'll say, hey, you know what? I just have to run to the washroom. Would you mind keeping an eye on my box there at the table? Just make sure nobody takes it. And then I disappear and I go to the washroom for a little bit. And then a couple minutes later, I come back, and I've had it happen. Sometimes people are like, oh, yeah, it's fine. No problem, you know. But then I have had it happen to people like, what's in the box? And then I've had actually been able to get their contact details to follow up with them about the products too. So yeah, just use what's available to you and step out of your comfort zone. I was sweating like an absolute pig when I did that the first time. I was so nervous. I thought this is really silly, but it's just about getting out of your comfort zone, right? Now, my favorite, other than doing experience baskets, is doing tabletops. I love doing tabletops. Yes, they are. It's a long time and it's a lot of hours that you're away from the family, but you get to meet an amazing amount of people. You see here are some pictures. You can really do whatever you want with your tables, whatever you have access to, that's what you display, however little, however much, whatever you want to work on, whatever you're focusing on. If you've done your KISS 7 and you know what you're working with, then just display those products and be like, okay, these are the products that I'm going to show to people this month, and that's what I'm sticking to. It's totally up to you. Have fun with it and just enjoy the experience. So why would you do a tabletop? When I first started, I wanted to sell at tabletops. That was my main goal. I just wanted to sell products and get CC'd in. But I realized that it's not necessarily the place to do that, especially for me here in Canada where nobody knows about Forever. I'm not selling a lot at these tabletops. Every once in a while, I'll have somebody walk by and go, oh, there's that yellow bottle of aloe. I haven't seen that in years. And then they'll buy something or whatever. But that very rarely happens for me. So my focus when I do a tabletop now is to collect names and numbers. This is all adding to my Who Do You Know list. So I chat to everybody that comes up to my booth. I like to stand next to my booth if I can, rather than behind it, just because I feel trapped if I'm behind my booth. But also I find that sometimes if you're right in the front and you're reaching out to people, that can put people off too. So just find where you're comfortable and what the setup is like. But I do like to be able to be around the front of the table and chat to people rather than talking with them, rather than talking at them. Get kind of into their level as well. So like I said, you're getting your names. So what I used to use, if you look on the right-hand side, was just the free prize draw questionnaire. So literally that box at the top where I was just collecting name, number, email, and phone. That's all I used to collect, and that was fine. Except I didn't know what to do with these tiny little pieces of paper, and I'm like, okay, do I staple them? Do I use paper clips? What do I do with them? And then it just seemed to be more of a hassle to try and organize it. But what I've started doing recently is actually using the whole form. And there's a brand new form available on PowerPod Print that you can download it if you're not in the UK. You can pay, I don't know, I think it was £3 or £5 or something to download it, and then you can just print it off yourself. So I'm using this similar form now to actually collect more information from people. So then once I've got these all, and at the end of the market, when I get home, I go through, and anybody who's checked at the bottom that they would be interested in looking at an income opportunity, those are the first people that I contact. I'm able to categorize all of the names that I get into most important, next important, and kind of least important, so that I know who I need to focus on contacting right away. So if you haven't used these forms yet, I highly recommend it. It just gives it more of a personal touch, because then if they've ticked, yes, I'm tired, I have arthritis, or I have asthma, When you phone them to follow up, I always phone and just say, hey, it's Kim. I just wanted to thank you so much for stopping by my booth at the market the other day. And I've looked at your form and I noticed that you're having problems with these areas. Would you be open to having a look at some products that might be able to help you? So you're getting to them in a more of a personal way, rather than just phoning them and saying, hey, this is your, like, how are you? You know, we spoke, but would you like to try some products? And they'll be like, oh yeah, no, you know, I'm good. So if the more you can relate to people, the more open they are to getting your basket or meeting to you for a one-to-one. Obviously, there is the chance that you're going to get new customers at a tabletop, especially somewhere like in Dubai or the UK, where Forever is a little bit more well known, or South Africa for that matter. That's always an opportunity as well. You can book your basket drops. So I had I did a market on my driveway at our community garage sale on the weekend, and all I did there was collect names and numbers to do pop drops. So I didn't have the prize draw questionnaire filled out. I just printed off a sheet where people gave me their names and numbers and whether they were available during the day or during the evening for a basket drop. So I will be following up with those people this week to arrange a time to bring them some products. You have potential launch hosts within these groups, potential prospects as always. Again, the opportunity for immediate sales, but most importantly, it's a networking opportunity. Another tip for you is don't only focus on the people who are attending the event, like as guests. Focus on the people who have booths as well. Those are entrepreneurs right to the left and to the right of you. They're looking for more money. They need more income. That's why they are at this event. So what I like to do is I've actually print out a form, a little, almost like a postcard, and I go at some point during the event and I just hand it to each of the booths. I chat with them a little bit, but basically what it is it's a thank you. It's a thank you to them for spending the time to come to the market to help make it more of a success. And then what I do is I offer them a discount on any of my products should they be interested in trying them out. Because they are fellow vendors, I extend the courtesy of introducing myself to them and giving them a discount should they be interested in taking a look. Okay, so a quick recap of our retail activity. Again, with your retail strategy, you want to be picking at least 3 activities to be working on. Choose what works well for you, but don't always just be stuck with them. Try and expand your range. Step out of your comfort zone, stretch yourself. Use the tools that are available to you on Dream Team, on our Dropboxes, on QLS, on PowerPod. There's so many things that there's there for you to help you build your business. Make sure that you're being a product of the product. Build your who do you know list, your database on a daily basis. That way you will never run out of people to talk to. Focus in on your goals. Make sure that you've got your goals set and always have them in front of you so that you know why you are working this business. Be active on social media. Decide what your social media strategy is and try and be consistent. I know it's really hard and I've been really bad at it lately, trying to be consistent on social media. But that's another tool for you to use. I know Nikki was saying she gets a lot of prospects just through her social media posts. So figure out what it is that you want out of these social media and put a plan in place and work that plan. Work on your product story. So your product story will probably come from your products that are on your KISS 7 list because those are your favorites. So work around those to become familiar with them. Figure out the case credits. Make sure you understand those. And then also always focus on our 4CC retail business. Everybody needs to be part of that, our 4CC club at the end of the month. It's just exciting. It's so nice to be part of that team that you know that you're building that solid foundation for your business. Always focus on building your relationships with your customers and your team as well. Customers become teams, so you want to make sure that you're setting a great standard, because what you do with your customers, if they become a team member, they're going to automatically be doing that with their customers as well. It's a monkey see, monkey do business. So start from the top, doing it properly. Okay, so that is retail completed. I know it's a lot of info, but the recording will be up there for you. You guys can go back and go over it too. And any questions, give us a shout. So I'm going to do a few of the recruitment, the business building sides, and then I will hand over to Nikki, but I'll get started over here. So with the recruitment, really basic. All we need to do is speak to people. We recommend having 5 conversations a day. Obviously, if you're wanting to move quicker, you do more. So between 1 and 5 is kind of part-time. Between 5 and 10 is full-time. And obviously, if you're gung-ho and you're going for the top and you need to get there like yesterday, then you speak to as many people as you possibly can on a daily basis. But it just boils down to what you want, what your goals are, and you focus on that. But literally, like 5 conversations a day will keep your business running. A big thing is learn to not be afraid of the no. It's the same thing like this it says here. Like if somebody offered you a coffee or a stick of gum and they said no, would you be offended? No, they just didn't want a coffee right now. Doesn't mean that they're not ever going to drink a coffee. So don't be afraid to hear the word no. This quote down here comes from Claire's favorite book, Dare to Dream, Work to Win, where it basically explains to us how pilots are selected not by how high their scores were, but on hours logged flying. So if you think about it, do you want to be flying with a pilot that has got A pluses in all of his exams but hasn't flown much? Or do you want to fly with somebody who's been flying every day for 5 years? Obviously, you want somebody who's been consistently flying, actually logging flight hours. So for us, our flight hours are our BPs. So showing the business to someone is our flight time, and without showing the BP, we do not have any log time. There's a saying that goes around, I have no idea who said it, but the person who shows the most BPs wins. And that's basically what you need to focus on. Always remember that it's not a no forever, it's a no not now. So don't, if you phone somebody up and they say, oh no, that's not for me, just say, oh, that's fine, no problem. Would it be okay if I check back with you in 3 months time? Just say, I've noticed that situations change so quickly, and I would love to check in and see how you're doing. And most times people will say, yeah, absolutely, check in with me. And then you just add them to your recruiting 1 to 31 folder, and in 3 months time, you're going to follow up with that person again. Don't just like rip up their number and throw it away and be like, that's it, I'm never contacting that person again. Never write anybody off. You never know what their situation is behind the scenes. So always keep that door open. Don't burn any bridges. Getting good at answering, what do you do? I think this is probably one of the hardest things for most of us to get over. I know I have given the most ridiculous answers in the past. And I still struggle with it. It's not an easy thing until I learned just a quick one-liner, So just figure out what it is, what drives you, your passion. But let's back up. So how to actually get somebody to ask you that question. It's again building relationships with people. So what you want to do is be interested. Ask questions, chat. If they say something, ask them a follow-up question. Get them to give you more information about them. We want to be interested rather than interesting. So get people talking by asking them questions. As they answer your questions, you'll start to learn a little bit more about them. You'll learn that that this mom that you're talking to has got a horrible job and horrible hours, and all she wants to do is spend more time with her kids. You'll learn bits and pieces just through regular everyday conversation. Use those pieces of info to relate your story to them. So build that common interest, and then always make it about them and not yourself. So how can you answer that question and perk their interest? Relate it back to them. So if they're saying that they need more time in the day or that they need more money, then tell them that, you know what, I work with moms who need to find a way to bring in an extra income around their kids and other activities. Or whatever that they've said to you, just basically feed it back to them. Say, I help people achieve exactly what you're looking for. Just keep it short and keep it simple. This is not the place where you're going to get into a one-to-one. They might say, oh, well, that sounds interesting. Like, I'd love to know more. And be like, that's great. That's amazing. Let's have a time and we'll meet for coffee. And then you go through the one-to-one there. It's not, you're not going to whip out your one-to-one slides and start doing it right then and there. So, it's just about opening that conversation and getting your foot in the door. Okay, so your business story. So with your business story, this is your quick overview of your name, kind of your background, what you liked or disliked about your life before Forever, why you decided to get into developing a Forever business, and what it is or will be doing for you. A big thing to remember is that people buy into you first. You don't need to get into all of the nitty-gritty about the marketing plan and the products and this. All you need to do is be honest, be open, be personable, and just chat with people. You would use the story when you meet for a one-to-one. So you would kind of find out a little bit more about the person first, and then you would adapt your business story again to almost reflect them. So you always want to be relating that back to those people. You adapt your story depending on who you're talking to. So if you're talking to a mom, you're going to focus on more on mom things, right? That you want to be home with your kids, or you want to be able to pay for their swimming lessons, or just make it relatable to them. If you're talking to a business professional, talk about how you're finding you're getting more quality time, more choices in life, that you're able to you don't have to be away from your family at your job for 70 hours a week, right? So just find what's going to drive them, find their hot button, and talk to that. You can, like I said, you can change up your story depending on who you're talking to. Just never ever lie. Just always be honest. If you feel like your story isn't compelling just yet, you're always welcome to use one of our stories. Use a story of somebody that you know. So, you know what, I work with this lady and she's done this, this, and this. And if you feel that that's a better story that's going to relate to this person, right? So just always it's about listening. So when you're talking about your business story, use the good words. Be like exciting, inspiring, open-minded, great possibilities, fantastic, amazing, astonishing, dynamic. Number one, security, visionary. I am on track to achieve. Bad words is anything where you are planting a seed of doubt. You're going to make these people think that you don't even believe in what you're saying. So don't say things like could or might or think or maybe or hopefully or one day or possibly this little business that I'm working with. Or don't use case credits or pup baskets. Don't use internal company jargon. Focus on positivity and being excited. All right, and that is it from me, everybody. So, Nikki, are you there? If you're there, you might be muted, Nikki.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, oh, now I can. There you are. I was just about to message you, be like,
hello. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm good to go. Thanks, Kim.
Okay, I'm going to mute myself, but I will do the slides for you.
Thanks.
All right.
I must say, I'm really excited to get on with this section. We've been talking obviously about retailing, and thanks, Kim. I really love Kim's take on the tabletops. Retailing is not my strongest point. I don't particularly like it. I have to work really hard at it. But I do love the business building side of things. So I'm so excited just to share a little bit of information about it with you tonight and carry on from where Kim left off. So let's get straight into it, handling objections. Now, I think this is quite a scary thing for most people. It's the same as with Kim saying you've got to just get over that no. It's just it's just another no, and the more no's you get, the closer you are to the yes, because it is just a numbers game. So, and I think for me, the thing that kind of when I looked at it as if if you turn someone around, so someone who's had a lot of objections, who's been saying no and asking a lot of questions and kind of putting you under the pump, trying to not trick you out, but get you to answer all those difficult questions like, is it a pyramid scheme? Once you've got through all those questions and you've answered all those questions for them, by that time, when the person turns and says yes, you've pretty much, I'm sure they're going to hit the ground running. They're going to be ready to take this business and probably build an incredible business because they've done their research. They've asked all the difficult questions. They've got the answers to all the difficult questions, and they will be able to answer those questions correctly as well. So I think it's really important. It's a really important lesson that we all go through handling objections. It's great actually to get those questions thrown at you because in the beginning of your business you don't quite know how to answer them, but as you move through your business, you learn how to answer these questions, and it's just really important to be able to kind of feed that through into your team as well, and get over the fear of objections. It's just part of the business, and like I said, it's just a numbers game, so you're closer to the yes. So obviously the common objections: is it a pyramid scheme? I don't like selling. Is it selling? It's too expensive. The market is saturated. I don't have time. And is it that forever thing? The best way to deal with this is with the feel, felt, found. Now, you can see an example there at the bottom, and it's basically about relating with people. That's what it is. So if someone says, oh, I don't like selling, I'm not a salesperson, then you can say to them, listen, Sarah, I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same way when I first saw this business, but by having a good look at it and looking at all the info and getting my questions answered and meeting people who are already involved in the business, it was nothing like, and then you insert the objection. So it was nothing like selling. I found actually that our products are really good quality. They tend to kind of sell themselves, and actually we are just product ambassadors. Because we are a product of the product, we just recommend them to our friends and family. So I always use the example, obviously because I'm a mom and because I have friends with kids, I always use the example when I'm telling people about the business that, it is a common question to me about what I give my kids to keep them healthy. So my kids have not been to the doctor in the last year. I've had my business for just over a year. My kids have been drinking the Bits and Peaches, the kids' Vits and the bee pollen for a year, and my kids have not been to the doctor. So when moms complain about how their kid is at the doctor every second week or every month, I can recommend our products without feeling like I'm selling anything to them. I'm just recommending it. So so by using the feel, I know how you feel. I felt the same because we all started at the same point where we asked those questions. Selling, I'm not a salesperson, I don't have time. But by speaking to the people who are involved, that's the important thing. Not by speaking to people who used to be involved and had a bad experience or not involved anymore, or by Googling and reading. Google is the worst thing to go to when in a situation like this. The big one, I think that the thing that makes people the most nervous is the question, is it a pyramid scheme? Now, that one I would just answer, yeah, I know exactly how you feel. My husband was actually extremely skeptical when I first showed him this business. For that very reason, he asked the question, is it a pyramid scheme? But the more research I did, I know how you feel. So I felt the same. My husband was super skeptical, but the more research I did, and when I started looking at the marketing plan and realizing that this company has operated for 40 years in over 150 countries, there's no ways that this could be a scheme, a pyramid scheme. And by the way, a pyramid scheme is illegal, and that's definitely not anything I would get involved in. And then from there, you just say to them, look, there's a lot to share about this business. And I'd love to just take you out for a cup of coffee. Let's just go sit and have a cup of coffee. It's on me. We'll go sit for an hour, have a chat, and I can answer all your questions, and we can go from there. Thanks, Kim. Sorry, I'm just back to that. You don't have to move back, Kim, but just one point on that is very important not to become defensive when handling objections. So I think that is actually really, really important. There are some people who are just never, ever going to become forever living business owners. It's just there are those people that are a definite no and just will never, ever be a yes. And you do have to realize when you need to step back. So just keep that in mind as well. Don't just knock at the door if it's really something that you feel, and don't become defensive. Okay, so journey to manager. Now, this is really exciting because so this is still the old, the 120 over 2 months, 120 cc's. For those of you who are new, to the business in the last few weeks. So the way you get to manager, it used to be that you could just do 120 cc's over 2 months. And just in January, they changed it. So you can still do 120 cc's over 2 months, but you can now also do 150 cc's over 4 months, which is really exciting because although it seems a lot easier, and it seems as though, you know, someone who gets to that manager level over 4 months is not really earning the same as the person who got there over 120 cc's over 2 months. I suppose it's true, but the person who is developing a manager business over 4 months is developing a much more stable business. And the reason that they introduced this is because the company found that after people were getting to manager and pushing so hard to get to manager, to get 120 case credits over 2 months, that they would just kind of burn out after that. And a lot of business owners would actually drop out after reaching manager, because you just cannot sustain that kind of pressure unless you are recruiting 5-6 people a month, you know. And then, I mean, there are people that build a manager business within 4 or 5 months and continue doing that, but it takes someone special to do that. So this is the 5 steps to manager plan. You can see there, so 5 cc's with you doing 5 cc's, then 15 cc's. So the markers are 5 cc, 15 cc, 30 cc, 50 cc, and 70 cc. Okay, so now the bottom is what you're actually doing. So in Dream Team and in the other teams that we deal with, from the company, they obviously say the minimum is a 4 cc, and that can include your recruitment and your retail and your personal use and all of that. But in Dream Team, we like to strive for a 4 cc kind of retail and personal use, and then adding on the 2 cc recruitment. So in a month, you would be doing 6 cc's. Okay, so 4 cc's retail plus another 2 cc's for recruiting someone. You can see at the bottom there where the little man is, 6 cc average, 4 cc retail plus 1 new recruit, which is a 2 cc recruit. Okay, so that gives you in month 1, that gives you just one person doing 6 cc's. Then in month 2, so now you recruit and you teach your recruit to do the same, and so your recruit also recruits someone. So it's you and your recruit and their recruit. And you're all doing your 4 cc's and recruiting someone. So by the time you get to month 3, there are now 5 of you in the team, and you're all doing your 4 cc retail and your 1 recruit, and then so that works out to 30 cc's. By the time you get to your 4th month, it's 9 in a team because everyone's just teaching their new recruits to do the same and duplicating. And then by the time you get to the 5th month, there are 12 of you in a team, and with that duplication, you're sitting on 72 cc's, and you can see there that you've then made manager. And obviously along the way, so for those of you who don't know, supervisor is 25 cc's over 2 months. So with that model, you've then done in month 2, well, you've done actually supervisor in 1 month by itself, but month 2 and month 3 gets you to supervisor in month 3, and then assistant manager is 75 cc's over 2 months, so 30 plus 54 is 84, so that covers the 75 in 2 months, and then you get to manager. If you count month 4, 54 cc's, and you add them to the 72, that gives you 120. Okay, so I know that all sounds probably very complicated if you've just joined, but you need to go and speak to your upline. If that's something that you want to be heading towards manager, you need to speak to your upline and get them to put you on a plan which is comfortable for you. Okay, Kim, next slide. Let's look at the new way of doing manager now. So that's the old way. It's still valid. There's nothing wrong with that. But this new way is actually really exciting. And this is on Dropbox. So you can go on the Dream Team pin post. You can go and download this and print it out and highlight which one you want so that you can track your cc's and keep on track. The first option there, so basically that's 150 cc's broken into 4 months. Okay, so 37.5 cc's a month, month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4 gives you 150 cc's over 4 months. Okay, now if you have just joined the business in the last few weeks, that's probably going to be pretty difficult just to all of a sudden start on month 1 with 37.5 cc's. But if you're someone who has had your business for a while and you've taken your foot off the pedal and you haven't really, but you've got a bit of a team, you've got 10 or 12 or 15 in your team, but you haven't really been doing anything, you can now decide, actually, I'm going to now start in June and I'm going to start working, and you can get this kind of structure, these kind of numbers running pretty quickly because you've already got a team. Okay, so these are the different options. So 16 in the first month, 32 in the second month, 44 in the third month, 60 in the fourth month gives you your 150. In the third option, sorry, you've got 20, 30, 45, 55. And then the fourth option, which is the one I kind of more, well, similar to the one that I like, the 6th month to manage a plan. There's the 30, the 35, the 40, and the 45. So you need to pick what's comfortable for you. The important thing is that you're doing 150 cc's over 4 months. Now, obviously, let's say, for instance, we pick the 4th one, and in month 1, you have to do 30 cc's. And let's say, for example, you only do 25. So all that means is that those 5 that you missed out need to now carry on to the next month. So it just puts a little bit more pressure on the next month. But it doesn't matter. You can still catch it up. So that's what's great about this. It's now not over 2 months anymore. It's over 4 months. And the one that I actually quite like setting out with my team, because I've got a few people who are really gunning for it at the moment, is the 6 months to manage a plan. And that basically, you just increase your months by 10 at a time. So you start with 5 and you increase to 10. So that's 15. Then you increase by 10, that's 25. You increase by 10, that's 35. You increase by 10, that's 45. And then the 6th month, you do 45 again. And that gives you 150 over 4 months. For me, that's really creating. It's not difficult if you are doing the activity, if you're talking to people, 5 to 10 people a day about the business, you can really create a stable structure like that. And remember, when you're talking to people, it takes 6 to 8 weeks lead time. For me, it's for some people that I've registered in the business, it's taken almost a year that I've spoken to people. People are busy, this is our number one. Well, for me, this is my thing. I love Forever. I love recruiting. I love chatting to people, but other people are not that passionate as we are, and it's not their whole kind of focus. So it will take a while. You do get those people that when you speak to them, all of a sudden, 2 days later, they're ready to sign. You get those people, and that's awesome. But you do also get people that will build an incredible business, but will take 6 months, 8 months, a year to come around and join your team. So you've just got to keep following up with them. Okay, thanks, Kim. So now the next slide is just an example, right? So it's 16 cc's a month. Now, these don't have to be all frontline. So frontline means that the person who you directly sponsored into your team. But basically, it's a leg of 4 cc, 4 cc, 4 cc, right? So if you're doing your 4 cc's and you sponsor 3 people into your team and you teach them to do 4 cc's, you've done 16 cc's. And now if you look at if you're watching this over, you can go back to the previous slide, and in month 1, that can get you onto your plan for manager, can be your first month of your 4 months. Okay, so the next one, if we're looking at a 32-month CC month, so it's you doing your 4 CCs, and remember, we would like ideally to do 4 plus 2. Okay, but you're just teaching everyone to do their 4 and then recruit plus 2. So it's you, and you've now got 4 frontlines, so 4 people that you've introduced to your business, and 3 of those 4 people have also introduced someone and are not teaching them to do the 4 CCs. Okay, and you should ideally be working with your frontline and with their recruit, and making sure that you build your business wide and deep. Okay, so that's your 32 CC month example. Now, this is really exciting for me. If I look at this, I just think, like, I wish I had seen this when I started my business. Kim, you should have showed me this when I started my business. It took me 4 or 5 months just to get going, by the way. I just did pups and I thought I was doing a whole lot of work. But you can be manager by just increasing your case credits by 5 cc's a month over 9 months. Now, that's really, really exciting. So let's say month 1, let's say, for instance, okay, we're almost at the end of May. So let's just say, for whatever reason, you didn't make May, you didn't do your 4 cc's, or you've just joined the team, or whatever reason it is, you've taken a break this year, you haven't really done much, right? But June is going to be your month 1. So you decide, right, June, I'm going to do 5 cc's. How do I do 5 cc's? I get out my experience packs, at least 8 a month. I do at least 2 product launches or pamper parties or tabletops or aloe bars a month. I speak to 5 people every single day about the business. So you've got to choose. We've just gone through all the retail stuff. You've got to choose 3 retail activities and 3 prospecting activities. We'll obviously speak more about the prospecting as we go. But you've got to just do the activity and get to your 5 cc's a month. So it can literally be, say you do 3 cc's of retail and personal and you sponsor someone for another 2. That gives you 5. Okay. So that's month 1. So that's June. June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. So by next year, February, if you're just increasing your cc's, you're doing your 4 and you're sponsoring 1 every month and teaching them to do that, you could be a manager by next year, February, if you're just brand new this month. And that for me is really, really exciting. Okay, thanks, Kim. Okay, so where does it start? How do we do this? Because now I've just joined, I've just got my box of products. Now where do I go? Well, you need to go to your Who Do You Know list. It all starts with your Who Do You Know list. This is the absolute foundation for your business. Whether you are going to build a retail business, whether you're going to build a prospect and build an actual business with pipelines, it all starts at your Who Do You Know list. And really, if you're looking at being on track to manager, and whether it's 6 months, whether it's 9 months, whether it's just in your mind and you haven't quite figured out when you're going to get there, you haven't set a date, but you do want to get there eventually, it's in your business plan, just sit 10 minutes a day, close yourself in a room, close yourself in a space, and just sit for 10 minutes a day and write down as many names as you can think of. I met with someone in my team, actually in Catherine's team, the other day, and I said to her, she was speaking about the Who Do You Know list. You know what? Put a piece of paper. Where's the busiest part of your house? Where do you pass often? Do you spend a lot of time in your kitchen? Do you spend a lot of time in your room, in the bathroom? I don't know. Where do you go when during the day? If it's your kitchen, for instance, then stick a list. Just stick a blank piece of paper, or stick this piece of paper on your fridge, and every time you walk past your fridge, add a name onto it. And just by doing that, you'll very quickly develop a list. Okay, so expanding your Who Do You Know list. Now, there are different tools. In the back of the First Steps Manager book, there is that memory jogger, which we spoke about, I think it was last week or the week before. It would have been the week before, week 1. When we were talking about your Who Do You Know list, we spoke about that memory jogger, and you can go to the back of your Who Do You Know, your First Steps Manager book, and it says to you, look at your family. Who's in your family? Who's whatever, Then it says, okay, well, who did you work with? And it goes through all these things. Who do you know that's a doctor? Who do you know that's a farmer? Who do you know? And it gives you ideas that just trigger your memory. And just put down absolutely everyone. So for me, for example, I put down my granny and my grandpa. Now, I'm not going to recruit my granny and my grandpa, but my granny and my grandpa lead me on to my mom and my dad and my uncles and my aunts, and they lead me on to my cousins, and they lead me on to people that I've met through them, and so it goes on. Okay, let's play a game. So expanding your Who Do You Know list. Next slide. Thanks, Kim. look at, so frogs, okay? So frogs stands for your friends, your relatives, organization, geography, and same. So you take your who do you know list and you think, okay, who are my friends? Who are my friends' friends? Who are my family's friends? Who, and eventually you actually link to quite a lot of people, because it's the people you know and the people that you've met through other people, and family, friends that you've known for a long time, and then you met this person through that person. So who are your friends? Then obviously, who are your relatives? So like I said, I started with my grandparents. They're at the top of our kind of family tree, and that filters down in through my family. And maybe I haven't approached very many of them yet, but they filtered me through to their friends and connections that I've met. And so I've expanded my who do you know list. Organization, who did you work with? Where are all the places that you've worked, and who have you worked with at all these places? Who was your manager or your boss? Who worked in the accounts department? So think about all those things, all the people who worked at all the different places, all the different jobs that you've had. Geography, where in the world? So, okay, so I live in South Africa. I live in Somerset West. Who do I know in Somerset West? Who do I know in Stellenbosch? Because that's the town next door to me. Who do I know in Strand? That's the town on the other side of me. Who do I know in Gordons Bay? They're on the other side. Then, okay, well, I was in the UK. Who do I know in the UK? Oh, yeah, that person from the UK moved to wherever, America. Who do I know in America? And so it just leads, you kind of follow your footsteps, your life's footsteps, and just link every single person that you know all over the world to your who do you know list. And then the same. So who is the same as me? Who is mom? Who is a teacher? Because I used to be a teacher. So who is a teacher? Who has traveled to wherever? Who has worked in the UK? I'm born in Durban. Who lived in Durban? Who then moved to Cape Town? I now live in Cape Town. So who do I know that moved to Cape Town? Who has 2 children, or who has children? Yeah, who has a mom? I said that one already, right? So you just think, who is the same as me, and all the different activities. So for example, I played netball. Who used to play netball with me? And that will lead you on to more people. Okay, and then the next one is the STEAM. So it's the same principle, but it's just obviously leading you to different things. So sales, who's in sales? And this is actually a great one. I love approaching people in sales, because people who are in sales, I mean, like my husband, for instance, he's really good at what he does. I get a lot of tips from him, actually. He's very good at sales. He can sell ice to an Eskimo, but it's really nice actually just turning the game around on a salesman and, prospecting them. So teachers. Now, I was a teacher, so who do I know that I worked with? Who else is a teacher? This profession is great for teachers, because teachers generally care about people. That's why they become teachers. It's not for the money in South Africa anyway, but they care for people, and they love to teach people. They love to help people. So I love doing the training, because that's my natural passion, is teaching. So who do you know that's a teacher? Who's enthusiastic? We're obviously looking for driven, enthusiastic people. Who do you know? Who do you know that has an attitude, good or bad? Obviously, we are looking for people with good attitudes, but if you think of who has a bad attitude, they could lead you on to someone who has a good attitude. So, think of who has a bad attitude as well. We'll just put some more names in your who do you know list. Money. So who has lots of money? Who has a little bit of money? Who needs money? Who loves money? And then what does money give us? So, for instance, you can say who likes to shop? Who likes to travel? Who likes to eat good food? Who likes good lifestyle? And all of these things just jog your memory to people that you might know. Now, obviously, I think we've also gone through that on how to download your Facebook friends. Now, for most of us, I think we all have over 100 friends, right? Because most of us all have over 100 people on Facebook at least. You might not be in touch with them, but you can kind of rekindle that relationship or that friendship and open up that channel again just by reconnecting with them and showing a bit of interest in their life, because that's what we do. We help people, we show interest in people's lives, and we just reconnect with people and hear what they're about. Okay, so that's us done on time, 7 p.m. So just your homework, your 7-day plan. So obviously Kim spoke a bit about the C9. Now, for those of you who have just joined the business, or for those of you who have been in the business for a while but have not done the C9, I can really, really recommend that you just do it. Just get yourself a C9 and do it, because you will be able to sell the C9 300, if not 700% better than you will sell it if you haven't done it. And if you can't do it, so if you're pregnant or you're breastfeeding, then get a friend or get a family member, get someone who can do it that can give you a little bit of feedback. But it really is an important tool. It's a big CC carrier. It makes a lot of profit for us. It's a really cool one, a product to become a pro at. So get your KISS. So KISS 7, get your 7 products, your 2 big ones and your 5 smaller ones. Get them written down. Do a bit of a plan for June. If I had to sell 2 C9s and 1 sachet of RG, then how many smaller products do I need to do to get my retail in? And you'll see it works out quite nicely. And also learn about those products. So 2 weeks ago or last week, we did about our product story. Was it the week before? Week 1, we did about our product story. So more than likely, your product story is going to come from your KISS 7. So get good at those 7 products. Know everything you can about those products. Learn the answer to what you do. This is really important. And you know what? Be proud about what it is that we do. We don't do anything illegal. We don't do anything dodgy. I don't know. The network marketing is a really upstanding profession. And it's something that we can be really proud of. If you can develop yourself a good business in network marketing, it's really something to be proud of. So learn what it is that you do. Practice with your upline, or ask someone in the business to help you out with it. Do your business story. Practice your business story. And we would love to hear them on Dream Team. We'd love to see some lives. And your product stories. Use the products, become a product of the product, and share your product stories on Dream Team as well. And stay organized with your 1 to 31 folder and keep building those relationships. Keep building on the Who Do You Know list. Use the fog and the steam, and just really get involved. This is we've done 3 weeks of retail rolling training. We now just touched on the business building. We're going to do another 3 weeks of really exciting business building. And this is really, like it says in the beginning, this is the map to building our business. If you can follow this, you can build a successful business, but you need to get involved. I did the rolling training week 1, and I've done it again week 3. You're probably bored of listening to my voice, but I've done week 3 again because we didn't have any volunteers to do week 3. So, stand up and do the rolling training. You don't have to be a manager. You don't have to be a supervisor. You don't have to be any kind of level in the business. If you've got a story to share, if you've got, you love teaching, you want to train, just put your hand up. We'd love to hear from you. If you've got a great idea, so let's say, for example, like Kim was talking about the tabletops. If you love doing tabletops and you've had such great success, jump on and do a live. Do a live from your tabletop. We'd love to see it. And and just hear a bit more about what you're good at. Share it with us, because we don't have to reinvent the wheel. Jane and them have done that for us. We don't want to reinvent the wheel, but it's great to learn from other people. So yeah, have a good week. Thanks, Kim, for the first bit. That was really, really great. And we'll see you again week 4 next week for rolling training. Have a good one.
Yeah, thanks so much, Nikki. That was awesome. You are on fire, and it's contagious. So good luck, everybody. Get your homework done, because next week we're hitting it again hard. So go to work. We'll see you guys soon.